And speaking of gameplay, so because the EA was not only talking about Battlefield, they're talking about everything. For example, the big presentation of theirs was literally like AI. We're using AI as part of our development core or something like that, right? And they showed some I don't know how to describe it. So they showed a video, right? It was the most generic video about them using AI to make a level, how to make a, some sort of playtest, right? This is clearly not this is not how it works in person, because the way they showed in the video is like, oh, you just type what for the AI what you want to do, and the AI will make it, right? And from there you can like maybe improve it and so on. Like in the video, it looked very scripted, baked. Yeah. Clearly, this is not how it works. So anyone thinking like, oh, this is how it works, no, it doesn't. Don't worry, it doesn't work like that. This was just for idiots, investors to realize how. Oh, look what they're doing. This is exciting. Boomers in their 50s, 60s, or 40s don't know what AI is or how game development works. They don't care. They just see fancy video thinking, oh, that's how AI works and everything. So they show this AI, right? Text-based AI. And they made a level, they made the characters, they made guns and everything. And Battlefield community looking at all that, analyzing how the animations for the next Battlefield game look, because they show the soldier running or character running with a gun in your hands, first person sure, and you shoot something and everything. The gun looks like really what's the word? Realistic, dirty, like you can see the scratches on the gun, and people over analyzing this, like, oh, is this what the alpha of the Battlefield is basically? This how the game is? This how the character is running? Is this how the gun looks and so on? And I'm like, people, you need to stop. You need to stop and over analyzing shit. I was watching this video, I was cringing how stupid it is, because clearly this is just a pre-baked video from old assets they have. It's just the running animation is literally from Battlefield 2042 or Battlefield 5. The gun is probably, yeah, sure, the gun is probably new from some unused model prototype. Well, like, it's a game development company. Of course they have assets. Of course they have running animations. Of course they have all this shit. They are a fucking gaming publisher. They make games. Of course they have assets they can reuse that you never seen in your life. And I was watching that video thinking like, oh, this is how the next Battlefield game looks. No, stop. They're still more than a year away from the release. Think this is not your alpha. This is not how the game will look. This is not how everything that is there is gonna be in the final product. No, stop. This is just an investors video for idiots that want, like, thinking investing into EA. That's it. This is just smoke and mirrors. That's all it is. Stop over analyzing stuff like this. It's not bringing any positivity to anyone. It just sells some dumb hype, and people's like, well, I don't like how the animation looks. Yeah, no shit, because it's from our old game. It's from our old game. Stop. Don't over analyze this. But speaking of AI, the concept art was there was some clearly AI being used in the concept art. Like in the middle or somewhere, like in the main frame of the picture, yeah, maybe it's like touched up by a designer to make it look, it's concept art, yeah, I'm not gonna look it deeply into that because it's concept art. But you can see, for example, the soldier in the shadow, like in the corner of one of the concept arts, and you can tell it was made by AI because the gun has, like, the M16, right? Rifle, and you have the, I don't know what to call it, like a thing on the front of the barrel. How's it called?
A suppressor?
No. The thing that is on the barrel itself, like on the M16, or it's like a triangle on top, like a metal thingy.
It's a the sight?
I guess. Anyway, it has two from both sides. Like one from the top, one from the bottom. It's clearly AI made because AI doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah, AI clearly doesn't.
Oh, so it gave it an underbarrel. It gave it an underbarrel barrel sight.
Something like
That's
that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's. I'm pretty sure a designer would never do a mistake like that if it was done by a human being.
Nah, hell no.
Yeah. So this is
hell no.
It clearly.
That's what my argument has always been about AI. But I mean it. That's the thing though. Like you
giving up some control to software, and you don't completely control the results. So, I mean, can you be expected to look over every square inch of it in order to touch up an AI? I mean, you know what I mean? That's why I think it should be like, instead of trying to touch up an AI-generated image, you need to just use that as your concept and make your own based thereof of. Like, now, if that would have been done, that mistake wouldn't have happened. Oh, yeah, cool, we could put a little soldier there, or maybe a squad or two, or expand on this idea a little bit, but expand on the ideas that the generator is doing. Like Kimo said, use it as a damn tool, not the final, the final polisher.
Yeah.
You're still the creator at the end of the day, even it. With using generative AI, and I know how much that sounds coming out of my mouth, because I'm very vocally against it for vocal reasons, but just it needs to be refined. Like, if you want to use AI for doing voice work, okay, maybe do it in order to figure out how you want your character to sound, and then hire an actor based off of that in order to actually do it. Use it in order to make casting calls a little bit easier. Don't just outright replace you know what I mean? There's ways to go about using this as a tool, and not the end all be all producer. So right there again, that's a prime example of why I feel it should be done that way, instead of just, we use the AI to generate the image and then we just go back and touch it up. Well, shit like that happens because we're not perfect.
That's what happened here. Which, you know what? On a grand scale of things, I don't care. It's not a big deal, because at the end of the day, this is just concept art in the background for people to sell the idea what the next Battlefield is. Like, you know what? It's fine. I don't give a damn. As long as the whole game is literally made with love and care, and then that's fine. I don't care. Concept art, I mean, I'm sorry, it might be a popular opinion, but like Kimo said, AI is not going anywhere. But if it's just used as a tool, for a quick mock-up, it's fine. I don't care. And this was clearly a quick mock-up, which is fine. I don't really care, because, guys, like I said, the game is like still a year and a half away, and people analyzing this video of a guy running with a gun and shooting another player. It's like, oh, is this how the next Battlefield looks? Look how people literally think this is how the gun animations will look in the next game. We're like, stop, people, enough. It's more than a year left of development and so on. Just stop.
It's a concept of an idea at this point. Just look at it that way.
But as EA says, like, oh, EA is the very core of our business. You just have to remember. And let me read this title from this one article from 2021. EA calls NFTs and blockchain games the future of our industry in the earnings call. This is no different with AI. EA just goes wherever the buzz is coming around.
Aged like
exactly.
Milk.
They will say anything just to, like. And back in the day, NFTs were really the hot thing. Like, oh wow, we should invest in NFTs. They're like, hey, boss, Mr. Mr. Wilson, please. They're investing a lot of money into NFTs, so I think we should get into that because it will be good for our business, because we're trendy and we need more money. It's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, NFTs, we love them. Yeah, blockchain games, they're the future. Yeah, please invest into our company. This is the same thing with AI. Yeah, everyone talking about AI. Every fucking company is like doing their own AI thing. Yeah, AI is very core of our business. AI is really important to us. And then they show this fucking mock-up video that was not made by AI, not made by some, how they showed in the video. This was edited, programmed, designed in your 3D software by hand, by someone, and they sold it as this is how our AI works. No, they sold you the idea how they think AI works.
Or how they want it to work.
Yeah, someone said, like, I don't remember if they said this how their idea, how they wanted to make sure, but regardless, this is just buzzwords like for nothing.
The big problem with the generative AI right now is, from what I'm reading, is it's actually starting to poison itself.
Yeah, because
doing it by skimming its own fucking artwork, and that's what's wild, and it's making results worse in a lot of cases too. So, I mean, that right there should say it. Yeah, it's a good tool. I mean, on its own. When you feed it things that you want it in order to generate in order to help with again your concept, then I'm fine with that in some aspects. Like, okay, if somebody would go to a fucking generative voice, this is the only way I would ever accept AI generative voice use. Okay, and this is coming from an actor. If somebody would go, well, okay, I kind of want a character in order to sound like, fucking Emperor Palpatine and fucking Bob from Bob's Burgers and a touch of Arnold Schwarzenegger. What would that sound like? And you throw that into a generative AI, and you could somehow manage to get that hodgepodge of way different vocal ranges to work and get something close to what you're after. Then you could take that clip and go on your casting call when you're trying to cast for this character and go, okay, guys, this is kind of what I'm after. If you could kind of get close to this bar or at this bar or wherever for an actor to use, then I would find that to be acceptable. Okay, and then you cast an actor who could do that and still bring life and their own spin and their own things to this character. That would be the only way I would accept it to be used. Same with visual art. If you're going to use it, then I would say use it in order to figure out what it is that you're after, how you kind of want it in order to look, because you can change the way things are framed and shot. You could keep the same concept and everything else and the whole nine yards until you refine it into what you're after. And then make your own image based off of that. That I accept.
Check the DMs. Look, it's that picture.
Yeah, I saw you post that as I was going. Yeah.
It's like clearly AI.
There's
no way
100% AI generated.
Yeah,
all day, every day. I can see it. Like even the way that it handles effects and everything like that. It's very. It doesn't look natural at all. I can tell this is AI generated. It didn't even take me long. Bricklaying as well. The bricks.
I mean, yeah.
They change completely halfway through the wall in some cases.
Yeah, the way that I understand this is a concept art and area, but you can clearly tell.
But you could take this fucking image here and make it your own and make your own. Like, okay, I want to bring the helicopter in just a little bit more, and okay, now I can actually draw that palm tree swaying as a result of the rotors. I can make the rotors look normal. I could do a little bit more intricate pattern with the building and put some more detail into this. I could add, livery around, flags and more furniture and stuff. Shit that would make the generator take more time in order to generate this image. Tell it to not make what looks like a lever action with a goddamn really horribly kiltered fucking 3.5 scope on the ass end of it, and again the underslung end barrel sight. You know what I mean? And my dude looks like he's oh no, that's a second soldier with a bullet with a barrel there. I thought that was somebody. I thought he had a wacky stick hanging off of his back pocket there. But even you look at the body armor and shit too. Like I can tell helmet. Jesus, it looks like a piece of a piece of construction paper cut out. And it's very derivative too. It looked okay. What is this? General city in Afghanistan helicopter landing? Cool. You know what I mean? This could be used as a base. I would, and even I as an artist, as a former graphic designer, I would use the tool in this manner. But I would not just generate an image and go, if this is cool as a multi-million-dollar company. By the way, what is the fucking random crosshair there for?
Oh, they do that in all the concept art they released.
Is this supposed to be like, oh, this is a cut corner of your HUD POV?
Maybe I don't know. That's what in the H concept art they released. That crosshair is in every picture.
But again, you see what I'm getting at. Like it can be used. I do agree with Chemo in that regards. I do agree with a lot of people in that regards that it can be used as a tool. But not the final. It cannot be the final.
Yeah, but
it can't. It will never be good enough to do.
That's why it's more than a year away from just any concrete presentation about the next game, or like when they have the settings set in stone, like that presentation of the game. I understand this is just like early days. We need to show something, so I guess it's fine.
Like here's what I'll give another example. There's a video floating around on Star Trek subreddit where somebody went into generative AI and made like a 3.5-minute clip of what it would be like for Gordon Ramsay to be a chef on board a Federation starship, okay? It's a wild fucking clip, and you can tell it's done by generative AI because it looks like fucking Gordon Ramsay's skull is half collapsed and he looks like a goddamn British bulldog. But I mean, you could take that and go, okay, this is kind of something along the lines of what I would like to do, and show Gordon and be like, hey, can we shoot this? And actually produce that, and actually shoot that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if Gordon Ramsay would be like, no, I don't fucking like it, I don't like the concept at all, then you delete that concept and we don't ever do that again. Use it in order to pitch movies. Okay, I want to do a movie. You know, like a lot of these concepts of like having like Futurama shot in the 1950s or 1960s, or you know, some of these more modernized movies being shot or made in what would be like Panavision eras. Okay, that shows a cool concept. If it seems like a concept that would be right enough in order to fit and do it, okay, well, you know, why couldn't we make a 1950s era RoboCop just for shits and giggles?